And then if I send you a text, I'll just let you know it's me, and then send you a question. So we are live right now? We're live right now.
Oh,
Yeah. If it kicks out,
Ready?
just leave
Ready
it
to go?
alone, let it record, and then deal with it after we're finished.
Okay, sounds good.
so we're just recording, right?
No, we're working right now.
We got in?
We're good right now.
Okay, good.
But if it kicks me out, then I'm just gonna
Just let
leave
me know.
it, and then he'll come and fix it.
All right.
But we're live.
All right, good morning, everybody. I'll call this meeting to order. Sorry we had a little technical difficulty with the website this morning, but you know technology, right? Anyway, please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, good morning. This is Monday, July 13th, Broadwater County Commissioners Business Meeting. And we will start the meeting with public comment, and please state your name for the record. And what we're going to do, we're going to try something different. We'll go ahead and come up, not stand kind of close to the podium, but not real close. We don't have any way to disinfect it at the moment, but I think if we get close enough, the mic will pick up your voice. And last week when we did this, people said they had a hard time hearing people in the audience. So we'll get a little bit closer, and we'll see if that works. All right, thank you. Any public comment?
You have some feedback.
Yeah, we do a little bit here.
Is it
Okay.
too much?
I don't know if you can hear
Turn it
that
down
there.
just a little bit. And we're working on that issue as well. Yep.
Didn't know if you could hear it.
All right.
Good morning, Commissioners.
Morning, Tim.
My name is Tim Ravendal. For the record, I'm with Redoubt News here in Montana. And since, please don't hold me on the date, back in the beginning of June, a case went to First Judicial Court regarding this body. And a question was asked on what the status of the third commissioner is going to be, whether that person would be replaced by appointment until the next election. And at the time, the answer was given that that is under legal review. At the conclusion of the arraignment process in the other branch of our government here locally, the attorneys and the judge agreed to a stipulation in that arraignment, and there was supposed to be an order issued regarding the status of the third commissioner. Now, because the third commissioner is not here, I'm not using the name in the interest of the Article 2, Section 10, but at the same time, we know who we're talking about. And what I'm asking now of this body is, we are getting the agenda on a regular basis. Nothing has changed. Here we are on July 13th, and that third commissioner is still listed with the county cell phone, as well as questions on the status of those. And this is why the question is being raised again now, Commissioners, and that is because in District 1 of Broadwater County, the way the government is set up, each district is broken down so a commissioner represents that district. We do not have anyone in that seat. So we want to know, as media, what is the status of that elected official, and if there is any further information that you can provide to the public regarding that status from this body, as it is public information. So if you would please help us on getting to the front page of that, that would be great. And again, I was in at the courthouse this morning, and that order that was agreed to has never been submitted nor signed by the judge. So that is, again, that's still status that needs to be resolved on behalf of the people having that Article 2, Sections 8 and 9, right to know and right to participate. Thank you, Mr. Chairman and Commissioners.
Okay, thanks, Tim.
Commissioners, along that same line,
All right, state your name, please.
oh, Cheryl Campbell, I'm sorry. Along that same line, that commissioner that's been charged with a felony and official misconduct, does that person still have keys accessing county property? Does she still have other physical property, cell phone, computers? Is taxpayer money still being used to pay her paycheck? Thank you.
Thank you.
Shirley Wilson, is there any explanation for the lack of minutes in the local newspaper for, perhaps 60 days or so? Just a question. Thank
Okay,
you.
Thank you. Any other public comment? Okay. I guess just to respond briefly, Tim, as far as for the other commissioner's status, that's something that still hasn't been determined, and that can't be determined by this body. So I guess as soon as we know, everybody else will know as well. I'm sorry, that's all I have for you.
Thank you. I would ask that the commission refer that question by us to our county attorney
Sure.
to make sure that we can maybe get that answer.
Yeah, you bet.
Thank you.
And as far as for lack of minutes in the paper, I know that we send them to them.
The minutes
So-
are sent to them on a regular basis.
Yeah, so whether they post them or not, I know that's up to them, I'm sorry, so.
Thank you.
Yep. All right. Just a couple little administrative things. We received a update to the CHIP grant, and all they've done has they've extended the grant from August 31st to December 31st. And for those who are not familiar with the CHIP grant, it's the Children Health Insurance Program. Was original grant for about $5,000, and it provides health coverage to eligible children. And it's funded jointly by the states and the federal government. So all it does is require our signature to extend that grant to December 31st.
I'll make a motion to extend the grant to December 31st for the CHIP program.
I'll second that motion. Is there any public comment? Any public comment? Okay, hearing none. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. We received a check from the Family Medical Clinic for $1,200. We have payroll claims in the amount of $180.75.
I'll make a motion to pay payroll claims in said amount.
Motion's made, and I will second that motion, made and seconded to pay payroll claims in the amount of $180.75. Any public comment? Okay, hearing none. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. We have regular claims in the amount of $129.95.55.
I'll make a motion to pay claims in said amount.
I will second the motion. Motion's made and seconded to pay claims in the amount of $129.95,055. Any public comment? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Oh, you know what, I might have signed in the wrong spot there, right? I did.
Excuse me, Mr. Chairman.
Yes.
Just in a way, follow up on public comment. On this particular Does the third commissioner still be part of signing these claims?
Only takes two of us.
Pardon?
I think it only takes two of us.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. I have the July 6, 2020 minutes.
I'll make a motion to approve the July 6, 2020 minutes as circulated.
I'll second. Motion's made and seconded to approve the July 6, 2020 minutes. Any public comment? Any public comment? Hearing none. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Ann, do you want a copy of this grant?
Please.
Send that down there. Oh, and one last thing, we did receive a letter from the state lab on the water samples out at the silos, and they all came back negative. All right, real quickly, I wanted to put my plug in for the census. It says the COVID-19 pandemic can make everything else, including the census, seem less important. But completing your census form provides important data that's used to help fund hundreds of programs that help Montanans, including Medicare and Medicaid, school lunches, health centers, WIC, and SNAP. Without claiming our fair share of federal funds, these critical services could be in danger of cuts. Census counts are used to determine how federal funding is distributed. Montana receives almost $2,000 for every year for each Montanan counted in the census for things like highway projects, health care, education, housing, and more. But for every person not counted, our community will lose out on $20,000 over the next decade. Montana currently has a self-response rate under 56%. That means more than 225,000 Montana households have not completed their forms and have not been counted. Door knockers from the U.S. Census Bureau are scheduled to visit households that have not yet responded, but they won't need to visit your home if you fill out your census form now. So go online to my2020census.gov or mail back the form you got in the mailbox to help the census workers visit fewer households. It only takes 10 minutes. You can do it online from your home today and benefit our community for 10 years. Make Montana count. Also, a HAN alert from the health department, and the subject is serious adverse health events associated with methanol-based hand sanitizers. I know that you've probably seen some of this in the news, but I'll just read what it says. Most commercially based alcohol-based hand sanitizers or rubs contain either ethanol or isopropyl as the active ingredient. The FDA has advised consumers not to use any hand sanitizer. I'm not going to mention the name of the company, but due to potential presence of methanol, toxic alcohol as its active ingredients, which can cause blindness or death when absorbed through the skin or when swallowed. So be careful, read the labels of the type of product that you're using. All right. First thing on our agenda is the MACO Workers' Compensation Agreement, approve and sign. And last week we voted to approve the quote that we received, and this is the agreement between MACO and Montana State Fund. And what this agreement will do is MACO and the Workmen's Compensation and Safety Group will provide public safety risk management to the county. Will provide member services and workers' compensation lobbying on efforts on behalf of the member counties. Will present annual performance reports to the safety group member counties, and will assist the Montana State Fund in organizing safety coordinator group efforts and communication.
I'll make a motion to approve and sign the MACO Workman's Comp Montana State Fund agreement.
Okay, I will second that motion. Is there any public comment? Any public comment? Okay, hearing none. All those in favor of signing the the Mako Workman's Compensation Safety Group signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, the motion passes. I gotta redo that cover page, Ann. I put the wrong date on, but I'll print that off and get that to you. Next on the agenda is the chemical dependency service provider designation to approve and sign. And what this is each year we receive alcohol tax dollars to go to education and treatment and prevention services in Broadwater County for chemical dependency. And now we have actually Boyd Andrew Community Services and Broadwater Health Center can provide both of those services. And it is suggested that we do a 50-50 for Boyd Andrew and 50% for Broadwater Health Center.
I'll make a motion to approve the chemical dependency service designation.
Okay, motion's made. I will second the motion. Motion's made and seconded to do 50% to Boyd Andrew, 50% to Broadwater Health Center for chemical dependency treatment and prevention services. Is there any public discussion? Yeah.
Mr. Chairman, Tim with Redoubt News. Just real quick, if you have an opportunity to provide a summary of how much of the tax dollars are going into that program here locally, that would be appreciative for the people.
Yeah, I think that's probably something we'll have to do at a later date. It doesn't say here actually on the designation form what that is. So I'll have to get that for you later.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, you bet. Any other public comment? Okay, hearing none. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, the motion carries. Place you to sign as well. This is last year's. Go ahead and put that on the back of it. Okay, next on the list, hospital board appointments. Nicole, would you like to do that, please?
Certainly. Are we using the podium?
Yeah, just stand close
Don't touch
when we're
anything.
not touching anything, yeah.
Good morning. So I posted a notice in the Broadwater Reporter on June 12th, 2020, looking to fill the vacancy of 2 positions on the Hospital District Board. And subsequently, I've received 2 letters of interest, so I'll read those aloud for you. So there are 2 vacancies, 2 applicants. The first letter, dated June 29th, 2020, from John Ingalls. I wish to serve again on the Hospital District Board. It has been a rewarding and enjoyable board to serve with. It is nice to have continuity with this board and the positive transitions that are taking place. Sincerely, John Ingalls. The second letter is from Hugh von Swearingen. This is dated Tuesday, June 16th. Dear Nicole, this is to let you know that I would like to be appointed to a new term on the Broadwater Hospital District Board of Trustees. My term expired May 5th of this year. I missed filing for election to a new term because I was not told of the filing deadline until after the date had come and gone. John Ingalls, who has served several terms on the board, also missed the filing deadline for the same reason. He told me on the phone that he would also accept appointment to a new term. Sincerely, Hugh von Swearingen. So according to MCA, that notice had to be posted for 30 days. So yesterday was the 30-day deadline.
Okay, good. Now, this is for a 3-year term, is that correct, Nicole?
That's correct.
Okay. You want to do them separately, Mike, or?
Yeah, I'll make a motion to approve, John Ingalls for the Hospital District Board for a 2-year term.
2-year or 3-year?
Is it 2 or 3?
They're 3.
3 for
They're
3 then.
3-year, okay. I'll second the motion. Motion's made and seconded to approve John Ingalls for a 3-year term on the Hospital District Board. Is there any public comment?
Mr. Chairman, members of the commission, Tim Ravendall, citizen. I would like to know if there's a potential issue here with John Ingalls both serving on the Hospital District Board as an elected body and serving on the Health Board, which are intertwined in their duties to the citizens of Montana. And it's something that's been a concern here in Broadwater County, and I would like to just make sure that we don't go down that path anymore if we can help that. And then there was also another submission that's at the 11th hour, if you will, for consideration, and I hope that we don't forget that opportunity. Thank you.
Yeah. I actually have that letter here, and that needs to be reviewed by us before we make that appointment.
Okay. Thank you.
I guess I'm not aware of Mr. Ingalls' other involvement in Board of Health.
I don't believe Board of Health. I guess I'm
No.
not.
The Hospital District.
That's what this is for.
Yeah,
This is the Hospital District Board.
this is the Hospital District Board.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the Health Board.
No,
Hospital
I'm sorry,
District.
I apologize.
yeah.
My bad. Too many churches in
No, okay.
Yes.
All right. Any other public comment? All right, hearing none. All those in favor of John Ingalls for a 3-year term on the Hospital District Board, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Okay,
I'll also make a motion to approve or accept the letter from Hugh Van Swearingen for the 3-year term on the board.
okay, I'll second the motion. Motion is made and seconded for Hugh Van Swearingen for a 3-year term on the Hospital District Board. Is there any public discussion? Any discussion? Okay, hearing none. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Okay, nothing's been online, huh?
No, no.
Okay. Okay, one more appointment for Leota Gormley.
Yes, and this is for Board of Health.
Yes.
So this letter is dated July 7th, 2020, from Leota Gormley. To whom it may concern, this letter is to introduce myself and express my interest in serving on the Board of Health for Broadwater County. I have been a registered nurse for 6 years, graduating with an ASN in May 2014 from Helena College, University of Montana. I also graduated with an associate's degree in accounting in May 2005 from the Helena College, University of Montana as well. I have 15 years of experience in the financial world, working in a small credit union in Helena, where I started as a teller and worked my way up to chief financial officer before deciding to make a change in my career to nursing. I wanted to make this change because of my passion is caring for people, and that was not getting fulfilled in my accounting profession. I started my nursing career working at a long-term care facility in Helena. Since I lived in Townsend, I wanted to work local. I began my career at Broadwater Health Center, now Billings Clinic Broadwater, in 2013. Since I started here, I have worked in multiple capacities, including being a floor nurse, working the ER, acute, swing department, the assistant director of nursing, clinic nurse care coordinator, working with the elderly population of the county, interim director of nursing, and my new position as the quality infection control and risk coordinator. I have volunteered in Broadwater County in several different capacities. In the past, I have volunteered for the food pantry, which I served as treasurer. I assisted my church in sponsoring 2 free eyeglass clinics for the community, and currently I am a volunteer with the Broadwater Search and Rescue. I would like to express my interest in serving on the Board of Health for Broadwater County on behalf of Billings Clinic Broadwater. I feel I would be a good addition to the board, bringing my knowledge of both nursing and business to the team. I also feel that collaboration between local health care and the county is important to our community and the health of its residents. Sincerely, Leota Gormley, RN, Quality Infection Control and Risk Coordinator, Billings Clinic Broadwater.
Thank you, Nicole.
I'll make a motion to approve Leota for the position on the Broadwater Health Board.
I'll second the motion. Motion's made and seconded to appoint Leota Gormley as for a position on the Broadwater Health Board. Is there any public comment?
Mr. Chairman, Tim Ravendall, citizen. Again, I apologize. When you read the agenda, sometimes it doesn't. You read the first part and you can lose the second part.
Sure.
And there are 2 different bodies here that are very important. And again, I will reiterate that the third one that was delivered this morning, that's the board that that person is hoping to be considered for.
You bet.
I talked to Karen myself.
Okay.
So as a citizen, I want to make sure that you guys understand I'm trying to keep up, but sometimes it's a challenge.
Thank you, Tim. Yeah, we appreciate it. And just so everybody knows, there's still 2 positions on the health board that need to be filled, and that they're currently being filled by the commission because by default they have to be filled that way. So if there's anybody else out there with a medical background or something, we'd love to have you on our board.
Mr. Chairman, Tim Ravendall, Readout News. Is there a particular time frame that you would like to try to incite? I know there's not a deadline in statute, but we have those openings. Do you have a project date that you'd like to try to make something happen here on that?
As soon as possible, right, Mike?
ASAP?
Yeah,
I knew that was going there, but
Yeah.
I just thought I'd see if there is a date in mind.
Yeah, no, there's no date. I mean, just hopefully that there's interest out there, and we have a need to have some good qualified folks on the board. So,
Thank you for your time.
All right. Any more public discussion? All right. Hearing none, all those in favor of Leota Gormley for a position on our Public Health Board signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, the motion carries. Thank you, Leota, for coming forward, and we look forward to your addition on our board. All right, next is David Sigler from Bridger Brewing. I contacted David this morning, and he was unable to make it, but he's available because of some family commitments. But he's available to do a phone conference, so we're going to attempt to do that, and we'll see how well we do with technology.
Please dial a 1 when dialing this number.
There you go. All right. Good morning, David. Let me turn the volume up here a little bit. All right, we have you on speaker in our commissioner meeting. Please give us an update with Bridger Brewery.
Well, thank you. First off, sorry for not being able to make the trip out. I am streaming you on your YouTube, so I've got to participate. Sorry you can't see me in here. But I did have kind of at home with a 4-year-old sick. So but I'd love to give you an update. Appreciate the opportunity to check in here with you. Our project is, we're kind of chomping a bit, getting ready to get going. Right now, we were hoping to break ground here in March, but a lot of things unfolded in March, and so we are impatiently awaiting getting through the closing on our financing. The banks have been in a bit of turmoil here, so we are hopeful to be able to get all that closed and be able to start moving dirt here by the end of August, so we can get our building enclosure kind of dried in and be working through the winter, kind of shoot for that spring, early summer opening. If we can get it all to work, we will be erecting a small building out there in the next a couple weeks, just to house some equipment as it's starting to show up here. Again, we're expecting to be having our big building up. So in the meantime, we've been idle. We've been kind of working towards getting going on some of the subdivision work, starting laying out the rest of the property, and some of the had a lot of interest on some of the commercial pieces along the frontage. And trying to find a good fit for out there. So we've been collecting some letters of intent from businesses. We need to kind of wait and see our timing and timeline on getting the sewer and rates, et cetera, that we need to kind of work through with the Wheatland Water Sewer District, give them timelines a little better to get firm buy sells. But we figured it was time to just move ahead on some platting and work, so we're working with Alpine Surveying on that. Also trying to get with that layout a piece there that we've talked about to deed to the county here for emergency services. So we're I know I had some early conversations and some ideas on layouts that we need to, and I've got a kind of a piece set aside there. Couple acres. We just need to kind of make sure it's big enough, or if we need to adjust it in this process. But it's we're moving ahead. We're excited to be a part of Broadwater County, and the breaking ground's taken longer than hoped. I'm told it always does, but it doesn't make me any more patient. But hopefully our timing, I think, should be good, opening up kind of at the back end of this of the world we're in right now, and at a time where I think we're going to be clamoring for some new jobs and some new growth and some new excitement. So we're kind of excited for that and working forward towards it. Sorry not to have any firm updates on things moving, but except to say we've got all our building permits. We are shovel ready. We're just kind of waiting to close on banks, and they won't quite let us even move any dirt until we get all the till we get everything, all the I's dotted with them. So with that, does anybody have any questions, specific thoughts that you were looking for, or I can give more insight into?
I guess one comment I wanted to make, David, is I know that you guys do have a letter commitment for the wastewater system, correct? From one of the banks.
So with the wastewater system, and that's wearing my other hat on the wastewater board there. We did get a financing commitment from Bridger Bank, or Bank of Rebs Lodge. They're a branch of Bridger Bank for towards the utility district. It's contingent on a number of things. Some USDA's guarantee at the takeout, EDA grant, some matching grants, which we've been working through, as well as the pledge of the tax increment, along with the pledges from the members of the utility district to make the payments on the land. So we've got the commitment. We're just working through. So we did public advertising and signed on WWC Engineering to do the official design and engineering work to get us permitted. And we recently did another one to be able to officially sign on a sub-consultant for an MBR designer. The A3 USA, the same designer supplier that supplied the Wolf Creek Municipal System. So they'll be working with us on specifying some design and calculations, going through the DEQ process, and by getting them signed on, they're not precluded from being able to bid the system, which they'll hope to do as well on the back end. So we're moving forward to keep it moving. Bridger Brewing made a loan to the utility district to kind of pay these, since the grants and such will get kind of kick in once those are approved. WDC had to get in their preliminary engineering report for both the USDA and EDA loans, and they're working through that application process for us, and with a hope of hearing this month, potentially on the EDA, or it may be pushed to next month. So, but with that, still kind of tentatively got people lined out to try similar to break ground this fall and kind of push through and try to have those services available in that spring, early summer timeline as well, with the amount of services and the rates, how far we can get on this first go around. We're trying to maximize and get those rates out to as much of this district as we can, and in doing so also kind of keep the rates down to make it attractive for businesses coming into here. And ideally, if we can get some of these trunk lines over to the edges of the district, both the TED and the sewer district, and hopefully we can connect those even beyond the TED really affordably if we can get the trunk line right up to the edge, and then tie into some of those areas that are just outside of the TED as well, which are also priorities for us. So WWC has been working great and hard through us, and they've kind of taken the next step now with A3USA getting everything into the DEQ to keep that project kind of moving on track. We also signed up in the district Jackson, Murdo, and Grant as district council, and they're very experienced and been kind of helping us work through that process. So, and with that, there's been, again, we've got, I was continuing to collect some LOIs, kind of contingent on some of that utility services, including, some ag related support, storage, distribution stuff, and some interest in doing some commercial frontage spaces along some of the Highway 287 stuff. And of course some bigger, more established, and some growing Montana businesses. We've been kind of trying to shoot and support as best we can our Montana businesses first, but kind of got to do what we can to get businesses in there at this point. So there seems to be no shortage of excitement for it. I think there's a lot of people want to be in Broadwater County and kind of want to be in this intersection that have been just kind of waiting for these services to be available. So that's with that excitement and certainly with the Bridger Brewing part, we just kind of couldn't wait on this piece anymore to get going on the utility and subdivision piece, and really keeping Bridger Brewing as a anchor tenant in it, but not necessarily waiting for them to move ahead to that piece. I think we have enough other businesses that are interested that we'd like to get going on. So that's it in a nut. Did I miss anything?
No, I think you answered all of my questions. Does anyone have any public comment or questions for David? I guess you must have satisfied him, David. Very good.
No. All right. Again, sorry I couldn't make the trip. Maybe I can catch that next one here. But I appreciate the support and kind of generous welcome we've received from Broadwater County, and hope to kind of give back in buckets. So thank you all, and enjoy the rest of your meeting. I'll kind of hang up and watch remotely.
All right. Thanks, David. Look forward to another future update, and we'll talk about it later.
All right. Hopefully the next one will be more exciting.
All right. Thank you.
Bye.
You bet. Bye. All right. This Bridger Brewing group, they're exciting group of gentlemen. They have a lot of energy, and they want to see some good things happen for us down in that end of the county. So I know that their project kind of got pushed back a little bit, just the same as everybody did with all this pandemic thing going on. And but I'm glad to see that they're moving forward, and the wastewater treatment system is a key component of that, and that's actually probably what we're going to talk about next. Are there any other questions on Bridger Brewing from anybody? No? Okay. Next on the agenda is a resolution of the Broadwater County Commissioners pledging tax increment derived from the Wheatland Targeted Economic Development District to the payment of a revenue bond to be issued by the Wheatland Water Sewer District for the purpose of financing the design and construction of a district-owned and operated sewer system and the cost of issuing said revenue bond. Is there a motion to adopt this resolution?
I'll make a motion to adopt the resolution for the Wheatland Ted Water and Sewer District.
Okay, I will second that motion. Is there any public comment?
Mr. Chairman. Tim Ravendall, Redoubt News. On the resolution pledging the tax increment coming from that district, which is exclusive to that district, understandable, and that helps pay for the development down there, which I totally understand. What I don't understand is and again, I bring this up in caution because we don't want to go down the wrong road. I'm not a lawyer, I don't play one on TV, but part of this TED process and project is currently under litigation by name with the things that have been going on, and brought some of that up at open public comment period this morning. And so I just wonder if we have a potential to be getting the cart in front of the horse. We don't want to do that. We've been there. We don't like it. So that's, I don't know if you can answer anything there. Probably not. But I just wanted to make sure that we don't lose sight of the bigger picture and leaving those pieces off the table, because they are very important to accountability for the taxpayers, and we need to be able to let them know what's going on.
Yep, I understand.
Thank you.
I understand your concern, Tim, and those issues have been discussed, so anyway. And it is exciting to be able to have the infrastructure built by the users of that district, and not by the taxpayers of Broadwater County. That's what's exciting about this program. Are there any other public comments? Any other comments? All right, hearing none. All those in favor of adopting the resolution for the Broadwater Commission pledging tax increment to the Water Sewer District signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, the motion passes. All right, next on the agenda is the Board of Investments loan to Solid Waste for the purchasing of the new canisters. And before we do that, I'd like to have Josh Obert, our new Public Works Supervisor, speak to us about those canisters and how they're being used.
So I'm Josh Obert, the Public Works Supervisor. These new canisters are to replace the current 20-yard canisters we have at the walk-in access areas at our outreach canister sites. The 30-yarders will have the added benefit of we'll be able to store more trash. So our canister drivers will be making fewer trips to our outreach canister sites, which is less fuel that we're burning and less wear and tear on our vehicles, and will give our drivers the opportunity to be able to move around our rental cans to a lot of the contractors that are out in the community. And in the end, this will make us a quite a bit more efficient process by able to put those there. We're also setting up the sites at the walk-in sites with a dirt walk-up ramp to it, so we can get away from having the stairs. That's a process we've already started, and it'll make it much more convenient for our community to be able to access these after hours that the canister sites are normally open.
All right. Any questions for Josh? Okay. Do you have anything, Mike?
No.
So this is a loan that was approved, and I guess I can't tell you when, but it was several months ago to allow a Board of Investments loan to purchase these canisters. The amount is $49,700. And again, this is going to be one of those things that has to be digitally signed. Once I sign it, then we will get the payment schedule and all that information as to what our annual payments will be for that. So.
I'll make the motion to approve the Board of Investment loan for solid waste for the purchase of new canisters, 6 canisters. That's what we got.
Okay, I will second that motion. Motion's made and seconded to approve the Board of Investments loan for $49,700, the purchase of 6 canisters. Is there any public comment?
Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, hate to be coming up here and bothering you.
You're
every
going to
time.
wear that carpet out there, Tim.
Tim Ravendall, citizen, and this issue's been on the table now for several years, and in fact, going clear back to when Steve McCullough was commissioner, reviewed, looked at, kicked down, the kick road, moved, brought back, etc. The question I have as a taxpayer of Broadwater County right now, we're adding another $49,000 officially to that budget of that department, and the last time that we had any close to accurate figures on that department, it was over $300,000 in the red. And so as of today, we're adding more to that. And there's been some improvement I've heard through meetings, but I've also heard that the deficit has really kind of had some concern moving forward. The audit that was just recently delivered also had some concerns that were brought to the table there. Where are we at today with that budget?
Okay. So they're still in the process of determining the final number, as all the claims still haven't been paid and all the revenue still hasn't been received. So we still don't really know what that final number is. We do have a number in our head. We have an idea, a guess of where it's at. And but you know, we need to replace these aging canisters first off. They need to be replaced, and we need to look at how we're improving our efficiency, and this is one way we can do that, and trying to make our solid waste program better.
So just a follow-up then, Mr. Chairman, if you're not in a position because of the revenue and the expenditure lag within the government spending, I understand that.
Yeah.
My question then would be, do we have an estimate of what the status of that is? And I don't hold those numbers firm, because I know how that works personally, but it is also important to let the people, myself, know as a taxpayer what is really the status of that, and can we maybe be looking at a date with the process moving forward with the budget cycle, July 30th, August 30th, somewhere in that. Is there any timeframes on that?
Yeah. So we have budget meetings scheduled with Public Works here in the upcoming weeks, and we'll have those numbers that we'll be able to share with everybody then.
Thank you.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Appreciate it.
Yep. Any other public comment? All right, hearing none, all those in favor of the Board of Investment loan for $49,700 to purchase 6 canisters, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, the motion passes. All right, I think that's all on our agenda this morning. We'll close this meeting. We are.
Excuse me, before you close, you can't, Cheryl Campbell, you can't consider that application for appointment?
Not
to-
this morning, no.
Okay.
No. Anything else?
Shirley Wilson, I have a question
Mhm.
about solid waste.
Mm-hmm.
All of our hang tags have expired,
Yep.
so now what? Do we
Jo-
just get
we
to
were-
go to the dump?
Yeah, we were talking about that this morning, and I'll let just Josh explain to you what's happening.
So my, the position that I currently fill was vacant for 3 months before I got there, and the stickers hadn't been ordered when I got in, so we've recently got them in. They're all backing in. They'll be going out in the mail soon. There is a grace period all the way until July 31st, and the new tags will reflect that. The stickers, the expiration dates will now be 7/31/21, so we do realize that there is, there is this 1 month period that, and it'll allow us to be a little more efficient too, because when the solid waste assessment fees come in, it's typically sent out in May. They start coming back in anywhere from May. So we end up sending them out in small batches, bits and pieces for those that have paid. By extending it out till the end of July, we'll be able to send it out in one bulk process, which will be much more efficient for both myself and everybody else who helps us out with the accountant and the administrative assistants. Thank you.
Thank you.
And I think it's important to note too, don't throw away your hang tag, because all they're sending you is a small little sticker. Is it red, Josh?
Yeah, it's a green sticker,
Oh,
and
green,
there will
okay.
be a little instruction document in there that shows you where to put it. There is also static window clings. Those are available, but at the courthouse, if you want to walk in, if you have additional vehicles, you can put a green 43 sticker or static cling in there if you'd like.
Are those available now?
They
Those
are.
available now. If you like, you can go in and get them, but we aren't, like I said, there is a grace period. We're not turning anybody away
Mhm.
for right now.
And you will see Leona. She's going to help people with their hang tags and their clings. To kind of try to reduce some of the workload on our treasurer's office, so. All right, anything else? Then we're adjourned at 11:05, I guess. Thank you, everybody, for coming this morning.